Welcome to the Sypnotix. I'm Alex, and we have the Razer Edge in my hands right here. It's a tablet from Razer that just came out not too long ago with these Pro controllers, this Kishi Pro controller that only comes with this particular tablet. You can't actually get this by itself. So I've had this for a couple weeks now. We're going to do a gaming test. This isn't a full review yet. Be sure to subscribe so you come back for that. But in this video, we're going to test out a bunch of emulators and also maybe a couple of Android games, so you kind of see the capabilities of this tablet. It's actually pretty nice. I like it a lot. But let's get some gameplay going. So I'm actually going to skip the 8-bit and the 16-bit games on here because they work perfectly fine. They work fine on these. They work fine on this. Like, this thing is powerful enough to handle every single 8-bit, 16-bit game. That's to be expected. I will, however, gotta get that NES Tetris in there. Classic Tetris is the best Tetris of all time. Anytime I can get my hands on Tetris, I will play a game. So it works great here. I love being able to pull this out and play this on the go with a controller. Same thing with Game Boy Advance. I have been playing a lot of Pokemon ROM hacks, catching up on the libraries that I have not finished. And this is just really fun because, I would say, because of the Kishi V2 Pro. It just feels so nice to play with this controller, and the emulation just runs really well too. All right, moving on up to the N64. Once again, near flawless. I mean, we're at this point where N64 and PS1 are almost flawless across even the cheaper platforms like the Mii Mini and also like the RGS, the Steam Deck, this included. They all just run really nicely. Almost every single game that I want to play on N64 runs really well. Here's an example, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. I used to love this game as a kid. I still suck at it now. PSP. Let's talk about the PSP. PPSSPP has been the gold standard. They literally have a golden pro app, but this is the regular PPSSPP. But they've been terrific for a very long time. However, games like Suikoden, Woven Web of the Centuries, God of War, you need to tinker with certain settings to optimize it, right? I'm not doing that right here. All these videos you're seeing of the gameplay is me playing the game as is with default settings. I know that's not the best way to do it, but tinkering with settings for every single game is an art form. So I just wanted to show you guys exactly how it looks like just without it, because some games actually run really well just with the native settings. You do see some drops. Of course, like I said, you can tinker with the settings a little bit. However, this is what it looks like, and I still think it's plenty playable. I've had much worse experiences on just default settings on other platforms and other hardware that I've reviewed over the years, and it has come a long way. So I do think this is plenty playable, plenty enough to enjoy these games. Now for PS2, Aether SX2 is the gold standard. It's been around for a while. Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoons. I loved this game when it first came out. Gameplay here has been rock steady. The FPS count has just been rock steady. I'm actually really impressed with the PS2 gameplay on the Razer Edge. So thumbs up here. I didn't see anything too crazy in terms of lag or frame drops. And that goes to with the next game I'm going to show, Jet Li Rise to Honor. If you've ever played that game, you know how frustrating it is and also how cool it was when it first came out. Basically, you just use the sticks non-stop. That's it. You don't really need to press any buttons. GameCube with Dolphin is also the gold standard. Everybody knows Dolphin by now, and Dolphin has really done a very good job over the years of just constantly improving the platform. So the next two systems we're going to talk about are with Dolphin. So Samurai Jack, The Shadow of a Coup, runs pretty well. There's slight hiccups here and there, but for this type of game, this type of platforming game of this genre, it actually plays pretty well, and I think it's an enjoyable enough experience where it just works.
To gain an advantage over your enemies, you must use all of your abilities, my son, if you intend to succeed.
However, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance actually was nearly flawless. I love Fire Emblem games. This one was one of those ones that I actually didn't play when it first came out. I purchased the game much later. However, Fire Emblem Path of the Radiance is also one of these games that you gotta experience, and this runs nearly flawlessly on the Edge. I put this side by side with the Steam Deck, running it on the same levels. I was playing it back to back because I actually have I'm a little further along on the Steam Deck than I am with this particular Edge, because I've had that one longer. So it is interesting because I didn't notice much of a difference between this and the Steam Deck in terms of performance for this game. So I mean, that's all I can ask for. This is doing its job. Wii performance is also kind of impressive. Marumasa is a hidden gem on the Wii, and for this to run on Dolphin the way it does, the first boss fight here, as you can see, once again, I don't really have much progress in here. I have it on my Steam Deck, but it runs flawlessly. I did not have any frame dips, nothing. It just ran as it should, so very impressive here. Tasunoko versus Capcom. This is one of those awesome franchise battling games like Marvel vs. Capcom. I love these games. This goes back to things like even Marvel vs. Capcom 2 on different platforms. Like, it's not the easiest thing to play on things like this because there's just so much going on. It's not easy to get the gameplay to be flawless. And with this particular game on Dolphin emulator, it does an admirable enough job where you can experience the gameplay well. However, you will see some lag, you will see frame dropping. It's part of this experience with this particular game. But overall, I do think a lot of the Wii games with classic controller support do play pretty nicely on the Razer Edge. And of course, I have to show you an actual native Android game. This is Tower of Fantasy. It's basically like a Genshin Impact clone, I would say. This runs great. I mean, this is what this platform was made for. You are playing mobile games, and mobile games that are like this with a bunch of skill sets that you want to adjust the camera, you want a nice controller for. This is the perfect one because the Kishi V2 Pro is actually, I will save this for my full review, but it is just fantastic to use, and this is one of my favorite experiences for this particular game, Tower of Fantasy. I've used this with the first Kishi, and also I played this on other systems, but it's not as fun as using this controller. So yes, the Razer Edge itself is pretty good as a just a hardware, but I would say that with the actual Kishi V2 Pro combined, it does elevate the entire package. And right now, like I said earlier in the video, you can only get this controller, this version of this controller, with this tablet. So, you know, I don't know what the long-term thing with Razer is, if they're gonna isolate it like that, but Tower of Fantasy just is terrific with this controller. Well, that wraps it up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys want to see in the full review. As you can see here, this Razer Edge is actually not too bad. It's actually a pretty enjoyable experience for the most part. You're not going to want to miss my full review, so hit that subscribe button. Please leave me a comment and a like. That really helps the channel, and I also like hearing from you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.
So the other day, I was on a Zoom call at work, and I just dropped everything I was saying, and I told them, subscribe.